Hi there guys and welcome to my first Train Sim 2018 video. First of all, apologies, sorry for the delay in getting this video out. I've had technical issues with the Train Sim uninstalling itself through Steam, which was lovely, and then I've also had a raging throat infection for the last few days, which has made videoing impossible. My voice just hasn't really been up to it. Today is still questionable. I'm going to do my best with the voice I have. It may fade as we get going. I may cough and splutter at times, but hey, we're going to do it because I want to get a look at this. So, to go through the technical stuff, first of all, what happened was, because there's going to be a few people going, like when I was setting up for the stream on Sunday night, and I thought I'd better install, upgrade to 2018 and get that all done. So I went into Steam, bought 2018, no issue, and then realised it wasn't installing. So I restarted Steam. Still wasn't installing. I restarted my computer and restarted Steam. It still didn't do it. So I went down to the menu where you can see your included DLCs, and I saw that all the 2018 stuff was unticked. Nothing had downloaded, nothing had redone. So I thought, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just click the North Wales coastal route and see if untick and tick in the box will make it reinstall. Well, that was an absolute disaster, because what that did is I literally watched in front of my eyes as everything went from being installed, apart from like the 4 routes, to everything being uninstalled before my very eyes. So I've had to reinstall Steam, reinstall Train Sim. I haven't added any of my AP packs or anything like that at the moment, or so far got anything. The only things that will be in here are reskins and stuff that were already in from the previous build. Next thing I want to go on about is what you get in the upgrade. So in the upgrade, please note that there are no core simulator upgrades. So what this does is actually the only thing it changes with Train Sim itself, like not including routes or anything, but Train Sim itself gives you a new splash screen and a login capability to Dovetail Live. Now, I asked Matt Pedalston what Dovetail Live really was all about, and his answer to me at the time was, at the moment, not very much. At the moment, it's a way you can log into all the different train simulator, DTG websites, the fishing one, Flight Sim World, Train Sim World, Train Simulator. But in the future, they hope to bring discounts and things through it. So it's worth signing up to eventually. I'm not really fussed about doing it just now. Second thing, people complaining about the price. Right, listen. The core upgrade to 2018 that we're talking about, your splash screen will change to 2018. You'll get the login thing for Dovetail. That you get for nothing, and so you should. There's nothing really in it. The next thing is the 3 routes. There's a German route, an American route, and this route, right? You're getting 3 routes for $24.99. One route, when it comes out through DTG, is $24.99 anyway. There's really no need to complain. You can't buy this as standalone DLC. Everybody keeps going on about. That makes zero difference. I'm really struggling with people's concept of what that issue is causing. You're already upgraded to 2018, so just think of buying 2018 as upgrading the content. That's what you're doing. So please don't worry about it. Just click it and get it if you want it. All right. Hopefully, this little review of the route is going to influence you either way. Some of you I know have already got it, and I'm a bit late to the game with this, but hopefully you'll want to hear my views on it. I picked a scenario that comes with it. I haven't done my own or anything like that. I picked one that does the full route. I picked one in the snow, which was probably a bit of a mistake, I know, but I quite like seeing routes in the snow, and well, this one took me from one end to the other. So let's get started. You'll be operating the 1 Alpha 230855 Holyhead London Euston service from... now, before I say this, please note that I will not get your Welsh pronunciations correct. Rodders, I know, watches the stream as Welsh. You can moan at me in the stream, mate, but I will get these all wrong. Is it Llandudno Junction, as far as Chester? Today we'll be calling it Llandudno Junction, Colwyn Bay, Rhyl, Prestatyn, Flint, Chester. At Chester, another driver will take over from you. Okay. Another first for me is DTG's version of the Voyager, and I haven't even... what you've just seen is me clapping eyes on it for the first time. What is already really doing my head in is, why are they all on a wonk? Can you see that? They're all wonky. That's really annoying. The other thing that's striking me is the cab seems slightly out of scale. Or should I say things in the cab seem slightly out of scale. Like the GSM-R compared to the phones and stuff is quite odd. The sounds are pretty awful so far. The route itself is looking nice. The signage is nice. The 185, I'll look forward to driving that when I get the AP pack back in. Is it me or do those windows not look quite right on this? Right, that's us done. Let's pull out of here. That's loud. Oh, sound-wise, we just it did increase as we went into forward, but no actual revs went up, which is okay. No TMS screen. Oh, we can isolate the tilt. That's nice to know. Signal buzzer sounds alright. AWS reset. Emergency brake override. It's actually going to be an AWS reset. Oh, we've gone for the Train Sim World style of starting with the cab light on. That's annoying. And we've got instrument lights. That's quite a nice touch. Clipboard light. Have we got that? Yeah. Oh. Yeah, let's have that on. It's freezing out there. Oh, I'm a bit chinned. I've gone for snow because those sounds are awful. Okay, one thing I am noticing is that the cab is incredibly quiet, which it is on the 220s and 221s anyway. But how can I describe this? It sounds like to make this happen, what they've done... Oh, we are speeding a bit here. What they've done is just not made the driving car make any noise at all. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not keen on those windows. Something looks a little off there to me. I must say that the exterior still looks better than the Just Trains one, but the cab is not a touch on the Just Trains one. Not very often you hear me praising them, but they deserve it when it comes compared to this. Oh, because we've got the root stability pack not in from Armstrong Power, so we get that weird bridge reverb again. What else have we got? Do we have... Oh, we do have a passenger view. I like the cups. Look like a very Virgin-y interior, does it, considering this is supposed to be their launch with Virgin. I'd expect to have seen their logo plastered all over the inside of this somewhere. Some people think that's a good thing, that it's not. So the route itself, I'm quite excited for this. In fact, this position this part of the track we're in now is there's lots of famous. There's actually a Channel 4 bashing programme. There was guys leaning out the side of a Mark III Escort recording 37s on here. Because 37s were used on the North Wales coastal line for quite a while in the late 90s, early 2000s. It's quite nice doing that, driving it alongside the motorway thing is quite nice. I'm liking the route, liking the atmosphere of the route as well. Even in the snow, I bet it looks a lot better in the summer though. What is going on? Brakes are tediously slow to react. Okay, I can't see so this is the nicest thing I've ever driven. Oh, got a nice pier there, look. So this is Colwyn Bay. For all you bus fans. I always get asked to look at the buses when I'm on the stream. That one looks like a relatively... I don't think I've seen that bus in Train Sim before. At least not in that colour. Or was it sort of... No, I'm no bus expert. Dennis Dart-esque? I think that's a bit of a hodgepodge, to be fair. Doesn't really look... Looks the size of a Dennis Dart, but doesn't really look like one. Marshall's actually built some of those, or very similar to them. Nice door sounds, DTG. Oh, nice driving, Alan. Oh, please shush for a second. I'll deal with the rain on the windows. My guard's too rude to do it to me, I'll do it for him. Oh, the slow speed button works by the looks of it. We'll try that out in a bit. So this is going to be quite pretty, isn't it, in the summer? I think all the default scenarios that came with this, the 221 was either in heavy rain, or like stormy rain, or snow, and I think one was heavy cloud. But that was the 20-minute one, and I wanted to really give this route a bit of a chance. So I mean, the route length itself is... no, because... it's just to the end of it. I know I'm speeding, but I'm just looking at this at the minute. So we started up there. I'm guessing I'm in a tunnel. And then we end at Crewe. So that's Chester. We're still at Chester. We'll do a run from... We'll look at Crewe at the end, because there's something about Crewe I want to see. Which I'm sure you've all seen anyway. Frame rate wise, I know it'll be slightly better in the snow, but all seems to be very good. I'm right up at the limiter there, so. As if you don't know, my videos are all capped at 30 frames per second, so my game is capped at 30 frames per second. My computer is capable of running slightly higher rates on certain routes. I love it when they put like caravan parks and that in, because you know for a fact that somebody somewhere playing this has stayed in the caravan parks that these are representing. Just Trains did it quite nicely on the Newcastle Edinburgh. I used to beg my mum to go and stay in the caravan park that looks over the railway line. Even though it was in the middle, is it just south? It's on the real scenic section, sort of the Alnwick side. Oh, there's the ambient bird that we're going to get rid of. So you can't actually change the length that horn goes off for. One thing I'm very disappointed in with this is the sounds. Really, really disappointed. Come on, DTG, you've learnt your lesson by now. This was your chance to showcase Virgin. You'd beaten Armstrong Powerhouse to it. You guys got the deal with Virgin to show off what you had. So this is Abigail and somewhere else. Lots of caravan parks going on around here. Do you know what I've just seen that I'm actually really impressed with? Check these out with their little bit of signal bounce. Nice. Let's get it down a tree. So no, that very nice. So they're definitely new. I don't think they're the original Kuju crap ones. They're definitely not the Kuju crap ones. They're very nice. There's nothing better than a summer holiday destination in the middle of the bleak winter. So you can really tell what a place is like, is go to somewhere you go on holiday, like in the summer, like these places, and go in the middle of winter, where it is just caravan park after caravan park. I'll go down to a house in Cornwall in the summer and in February and in October, but Cornwall in February is beautiful. Stunning place, but it's dead. It's just in Constantine Bay, so it's a tiny little bit, but it's dead. Oh, we got some tilt there, I think. We'll turn that off in a second. We stopping at real? We are stopping at real. So one thing I found quite interesting is I watched a bit of Matt P's stream when he was streaming this for the first time the other night, and he made a mention that the scenarios, the timings for the scenarios and things were taken from real-time trains. So that, to me, I think is a first. Because usually I'm pretty sure that the DTG scenarios are just pretty made up. I mean, there's no way they could put all the stock in and everything like that. That's on enter. I'm going to have to turn it on, to be fair. Nah, no idea. I'm not going to look through the manual to find out. Got used to the way this thing drives, just slowed down ridiculously too fast. The route, I'm liking the route. Really liking the route. Oh, I seem to have turned it on. Not that it gave me any acknowledgement that I had turned it on. Yeah, still got to get used to these brakes. Oh, get a grip of yourself, go away. Let's hope that's turned it off. So this is real. How far are we going? Oh, look at that, look. Isn't that nice? Not masses of trees and stuff. No, that's not too bad. That's not too bad, is it? Over this way. Yeah, no, that's not too bad at all, is it? Well done, DTG, on that mark, mate. I like how all the station car marker boards are there. Oh, that's a nice touch as well. Have you noticed that, guys? It is snowing and the snow stops underneath the canopies. It didn't at the first station. I wasn't going to point it out. But it does seem to in here, which is quite nice. More buses. I can't laugh too hard because it makes me cough. Passenger view sound isn't terrible. At least it hasn't got an annoying cough and phone ringing. Active X sounds. And I really like those cups. Is that rocket or locomotive number 1? Locomotion, whatever those pretend trains of the time were. I know they're massively historically important, but they don't half make me laugh. Same with aircraft. A friend of mine who's a pilot is his big thing is vintage biplanes, things that are made literally out of like paper and wire. Not my cup of tea, really. Same with old trains. As much as they're historically important and I respect them for that, I don't really have much luck. Oh, come on. Why'd you keep... What could we do to make the game more annoying? I'm all for functionality. It's purely personal. I like the fact they put it in. I just don't like the fact that it makes that racket. Nobody in their right mind is going to drive with that, though, are they? Oh. What's meant to have happened there? The engine's cut out. Oh, it wouldn't be in my video without some sort of spad or station past it. Watch. Let's hope that goes down in a second. Look at that. That's quite nice. Am I even going to get any car in there? Unlikely. It might be a completely missed stop. Oh, yeah. Completely missed stop. Next platform is Flint. Sorry, what was it? Was it Prestatyn? Yeah. Nice station, though. I like the bridges and stuff. I'm wondering asset-wise if there's going to be... This is going to open up quite a lot of opportunity. I'm not sure how similar lots of platforms are in Wales. I've very, very rarely been to Wales. Flint, funnily enough, where we're going next. I met a girl at Kelling Heath Holiday Park when I was about 11. And slightly fell in love with her at 11, as 11-year-olds do in that 11-year-old crushy phase. She was from Flint. We wrote each other letters for about a month. Even though I did have my phone by then. I had my phone then. Really got to watch my speed. It's just, even in notch 1, it accelerates pretty fast, so keep your eye on that, guys. I want a slight gradient in mine, so there's been a lot more out of the cab shots in this video than you used to in my stuff, and that is just purely because the cab is not a nice environment to be in. Nice little junction. Oh, I wonder what this was or is. It's an odd concoction of industrial buildings, that. We've got some like sewage works, loaders, substation, cement worksy bits. Does it tell me on the map what it may be? Oh, it's a colliery. Okay. Oh, it's a nice bit. Another bit where you can drive down past the sea. I quite like that. It would just be decent if DCG's water textures were half decent. I've got mine set to the lowest, that's why mine at that pony. Oh, nice. Yeah, no, I'm the route wise. So it's Mostyn. Right. So Mostyn was a layout built in the back of Rail Express Modeler, if I remember rightly, years ago. It was set in the 80s, though. There is also something else that I saw on the stream that I was really, really, really impressed with. It was along the coast. Yes, there it is! So this is the Mostyn Fun Ship. So this was it the Duke of Lancaster or something, I want to say it was. I'm just looking it up now to make sure I'm right before I start saying it. It was the Duke of Lancaster. TSS Duke of Lancaster. So this was, let me tell you the story of it. It was owned by the railways. It was British Rail that actually owned it from 1956 to 1979, and then it was beached near Mostyn Docks on the River Dee in northeast Wales. There was an earlier ship there. Oh no, it was replaced a ship on the Holyhead. No, Heysham and Belfast. See, I didn't get it right. Sorry, I was reading bits too. And then it did do, from 75 to 79, it did Holyhead to Dunleary. It was built by Harland and Wolff. Why are we doing 65 mile an hour? Let's put it in notch 1 and do 125 instead. It was a turbine steamship, 4,450 gross tons, 21 knots. So the Fun Ship. The Duke of Lancaster arrived in something more, North Wales, in August 1979 to start her new life as the Fun Ship. Despite Dellens Council's own resolution in favour of the project, which led to the financial commitment, they subsequently refused numerous planning applications, even for signage. It opposed the granting of bar licences, issued a magistrate's summons over lack of sufficient fire escapes. It applied for a High Court injunction to close the ship on grounds of safety. It refused permission to trade on the car park area, although the Coed Mar was allowed trading at the time without plan permission. The Fun Ship charged admission fee to supposedly protect the trade in Holywell town centre, although the Fun Ship targeted tourism and even sabotaged a Welsh development grant awarded for sea defences and landscaping purposes. So it was a bit controversial. Now, this is a story I sort of know about it, is how controversial it was. So they did all of this by serving 13 separate enforcement notices around 1985, blighting the site until 1990, when the council lost their actions in the hands of the Secretary of State of Wales. The council were ordered to pay unprecedented costs in 1994. The council struck one more, claiming the monopoly rights in the High Court. They claimed a fun ship market was within a 6-mile radius of their newly opened Holywell market and was direct competition, therefore had to close. They applied for a High Court for an inter-sumptuary injunction, forcing the fun ship to close whilst the case went for trial. So that was probably the death knell for the fun ship, and the owners were sick of the attacks. They closed the business in 2004. They've continued to fight the case over years and are still doing business, but unfortunately the ship has stood closed ever since. Despite having large amounts of exterior paintwork covered in rust, the interior of the ship is in good condition and was featured in the 2011 series of the BBC's 2 series Coast, which I did watch, which I think was probably wasn't the first time I'd read about it. It's the first time I'd really thought about seeing it a bit more and looking it up and that. Right, we're stopping at Flint, so stop reading for a second. Now, this is the bit that actually interested me the most, and there's a bit on it about Wikipedia. So in early 2012, several local arcade game collectors made a deal with Solitaire Liverpool Limited and were able to purchase most of the coin-operated machines left behind inside the ship at the time the fun ship closed. Removing the games required use of cranes and other heavy lifting equipment. They actually had to cut a hole in it as well. So it had a massive arcade in it. As that was the sort of thing that you got around the seaside, wasn't it, arcades? And quite a few collectors all got together and decided that they would go to the company that owned it and said, can we buy them? And they did, and they went in. There was pristine arcade machines that had been hardly played in there, that are now in the hands of collectors' museums all over the country. Being a bit of a retro gamer myself, that sort of thing really excites me. These little treasure coves, these hidden time capsules of past games, and just even things like furniture and stuff. Historically, there's not much preserved from the 90s, is there? If you think how everything went real futuristic and was all upgraded in the 90s, we've got rid of it all now. Even some 90s buildings, some really nice sort of steel and glass structures of the 90s that we thought were amazingly futuristic now have all gone. And we've got things from the 60s that are truly bloody hideous. Well, I quite like some of it, like some proper brutalist architecture stuff. Still kicking about. So I do feel that sort of the 80s and the 90s are sort of and even the early 2000s are a bit of the forgotten generation of architecture, and I think we're going to miss some of the things that are around or were around for now that won't be soon. Residential architecture I've got no time for the early 2000s or even 90s or even 80s, those sort of weird box houses and everything. There's plenty of those to see. It's the really cool things like swimming pools, which I've spoken about on my channel before, commercial buildings, that sort of thing. This destination boards are alright. Oh mate, he looks quite Welsh, doesn't he? We'll call him Rod, after Rodders from the stream. Bit of noisy aircon going on here. It's about usual for a Voyager toilet. Oh, that's quite cool. I know a few people that can have some fun retexturing that. Did we make it in a bit early? Yeah, we did. We were supposed to have just arrived. So you get for not following speed limits. I'm really impressed that they've kept this really tight scenery-wise. I mean, you could have gone on for miles and they haven't. So much so I don't know if I'm going to make it. There we go. I've done a good job. I'm just trying to be quiet and listening for the stupid door noises again. I like being able to do that. I'm a bit hot now. Huh. Put that down to about 19, shall we? Oh, hang on. 18's there. So 19 will be about there. Well, we didn't get any cabs at this door sound, so I didn't know we were ready to go. Or my beep beeps. Chester in 12 miles. Let me know in the comments, am I the only one that thinks this train just doesn't feel scaled properly? Oh! Just Trains did their tunnels. Perfect. I think that is the first time on a DTG route that I've had that, though, to be fair. I'm doing 104 mile an hour. I think I've not really been fair to the route in this, because I've done it in a train that I am really so uninterested in driving. I'm going to have to do it again, something I'm slightly more interested in. I'm looking forward to the scenario potential that can come out of this. There's some 390 drags that could be done. There are 37s. Did the WAG Express come up this way, or at least part of this route? I think so. There's potential here. The interesting things to come of this, of course, is the Virgin, the link with Virgin Trains, the license to be able to use Virgin Trains branding. That's already prompted an upgrade of the 47, which I'm going to put myself out there and say the cab looks wonderful. Quite excited about that. Looking forward to it as well. Let's see what sounds and that are like on that, but the cab looks stunning. Next thing that's sort of exciting is there may be an upgraded 390. We don't know. Being that is Virgin's flagship, I would be surprised if we didn't see something along those lines, or an HST 91. Do you know, all Virgin's trains are in Train Simulator, and DTG have done most of them, if not all of them. And just because DTG have the license for Virgin does not mean that Armstrong Powerhouse do, and does not mean that Armstrong Powerhouse will be re-releasing any of their old Virgin liveries again. Let me just get that out there for you now. That has been confirmed as well. Unless something drastically changed in the future, of course. So yeah, what do I see this as? I see this as a start. Now already, what has come out of this is something we'll see at Crew, but we're not going to get to see it, is the APT. So the story of the APT is the UV, guys that made the 156 and spin tyres and several other products out there that most of you will be aware of. The 156 as well, the 150 as well, they had a part in with Thomson. Also, was it the 70? Did they do the 70 as well? Or wagons for 70? I can't remember. They made a APT P, an ATP, so the Class 370, years and years and years ago, and I was always so excited that it was going to come to trains, but it never did. Uvi sold it to DTG Steve, who's quite regular on Matt P streams. He streamed a version of it a few years ago, which I never got to see. Albie told me about it, and then I saw some screenshots of it, and it was a HST cab with a CP, so capped system, so CAPT, which was Control APT system, which is like a little box, and it was stuck on top of the instrument panel here. So my hunch is we're going to get capped in it. That is going to be released soon as well, as far as I'm aware. It's very soon. It was announced a couple of days after this, or like the day after this was released. I'm unbelievably pleased that is coming out. APT P is a little baby of mine. I have, even in my shed, and I mentioned it before, some APT P carpet from First Class. My shed carpet is from First Class of APT P. I have various bits and pieces from it. I'm still yet to have a good rummage around it at Crew, but I will get up there and do that. I've been invited up twice to go and see it, so I will push myself to go up and do that. So we've got that coming from DTG side of things. We've got the 47 from DTG. We've got the exciting fact that they're now licensed with Virgin, so we could see some upgrades of things possibly, or at least reskin releases. My guess is there'll be marketplace stuff, so they'll be paid for, and that'll be a bit pants, but that's no difference. If you want it, pay for it and get it, enjoy it. Next thing that's exciting, of course, is Atlantic High Speed released a little update on their well, not necessarily an update, they released a image on their Facebook page today, it would have been today, and not that it'll be today for you when you're watching this video, that had where it's going from and to, and all the little bits and pieces on it, so that's really exciting. We've got Kev Butler's Ace Trains Merseyrail route that's coming out in 2 parts, which should be available, I would think, within the next 6 months. Kev's going to kill me for saying that, but I think there is a chance of us getting something in that time. He's quite well advanced with it. He's also creating a MPV, which again I would think is probably not miles and miles away. So there's a lot of excitement going on around Train Simulator. Train Simulator 2018, or Train Sim Classic, whatever we want to call it, is not dead. It is not dead by any way, shape or form. Train Sim World, on the other hand, we don't know what's coming. We know there's things, but we don't know what's coming. Chances are it's probably going to be a German route. We just don't know. So what's nice is that at least with Train Sim Classic and Train Sim 2018, we know what we're getting. We know what's coming. And it's a really, really exciting place to be. If you want to see some screenshots of the APT and everything like that, heading over to my page. That is probably going to be my best place to catch up with this. It's probably going to be yours. Anything I hear or see, or anybody does hear or see, will be updated on there as well, so you all get to look at it. So yeah, exciting times. So the route for Atlantic High Speed starts at Ashford International and ends at Lille Europe, but it has Westnanger Station, Sanding Station, Folkestone West Station, Folkestone Terminal, the Channel Tunnel itself, of course. We need to slow down a little bit here. Calais Terminal, Calais Freighton HST Station, Le Fontenay Station, Calais Ville Station, and Lille Europe Station. So exciting. And this route, get in there. Banging route. Some good scenario potential. I am excited. Not that I particularly sound it, because my throat is now getting worse and I'm struggling to talk. I'm going to clear into Chester. So stock-wise with this route, it looks like you get the 158, the 221 and the 175, which isn't a bad haul, to be fair. Chester Station looks nice. Never been. I've never been to Chester Station. My old boss was from Chester. I say my old boss, he's now my boss's boss. Alright, and guys, very quick final thoughts on this. The route, stunning, lovely, stock that comes with it. You're getting 3 bits of stock. Without the AP enhancement pack for the 175, it's not the best drive in the world, but with that, it's amazing. The 221, sorely disappointed. It's like a DTG release from about 5 years ago. Exterior model I quite like. I think they've got the shape of it quite well. I'm not sure what's going on with the windows. Something strikes me as odd as those. Let me know if you agree in the comments. It might just be that they're not tinted enough, I don't know. Yeah, so route, perfect. Really, really nice. I'm going to explore the rest of it. And go down to crew. So yeah. It's just a bit amateur, that 221. It's a real letdown. They've done parts of it that are decent. That's it. Scenario failed. Remember, you can also go to Academy. We will find great tips on stopping at stations and picking up passengers. Cheers the patronising remarks. No, that's fine. That's because I missed the station earlier on. Once again, guys, thanks ever so much for joining me. And feel free to like, share, and subscribe this video. And I will catch you guys very, very soon.